Greetings. This is Philip Amerson again with the To Be and Do podcast. We've been speaking with Kenton Hundley, who is, he's so many things. Director of the art school and the Dream School. Kenton is a poet, and I first knew that when he had an office break-in in his office at First United Methodist Church, and the next morning he had already composed a poem that really was quite lovely about the person that was in need so much that they broke into the office and took Cheetos or something to eat.
Yeah, lots of
But
candy,
we won't
lots of
hear that
chips.
poem. I want to hear some new poetry from you, my friend. And
Okay.
why don't you introduce, why don't we have a series of, I don't know, 3 or 4 poems, and you introduce them and perform them for us. Would you do
All right.
that?
I definitely will. It's my pleasure to share poetry with folks. Yeah, so I have been blessed with the gift of gab and the gift of making words fit and match with one another. And that's just always how I've seen the world. And so, excuse me, I'll start with this first poem is untitled. I was invited to, I'm an avid runner, and I was invited to be the guest speaker at a memorial run on the 5th anniversary of the assassination of Ahmaud Arbery, the young black man who was killed running in Georgia.
Georgia.
And so, I pray about it when I'm asked to speak or to do poetry before folks, not just my own poetry. Um, and so here's what I came up with, and this was shared with a group of about, I don't know, maybe up to 200 runners. And then after this poem, excuse me, and some other words from some other folks, we did a 2.23 mile run around North Park here in San Diego. But here we go. We'll start with this one. Though we're no monolith, we've all thought to get away, to escape by soul train or road trip. Zion train is coming our way. And no, we will not wait in vain. We lace up, we line up, we head out the door, we pray that we not be prey. And so here we are today, still here, just be, just breathe, deep. Creator, we wail. We hold on to hope despite these darkened days. Our heads we lift to the sky, grateful for each and every stride. And these, the toughest of times, we find shoulders to lean on. We dare to dream of safe spaces, running to freedom, itself an act of rebellion. A revolutionary act, in fact. When a black man runs, when a native woman goes missing, when a brown girl runs in fear, when a trans woman doesn't return home from her run, it's puzzling that we're the profiled. But nearby, the watchful white eye, like machine gun funk, 2 eyes, 4 eyes, now 6 eyes, hateful, despising. Shotgun, pistol, a white truck, an orange flag, or a red hat. Pop, pop, pop. He shot, he fought, he dropped. A black man was lynched today. 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 5 times for 5 years. Say it loud, say it clear. Fear not, for it will happen again. Speak up, for it will happen again. And you know what? We'll still be marching. And you know what? We'll still be running. I said, we'll still be marching. We'll still be running. For this is not the end of our story. This is no finish line. Oh, no. Quite the contrary. We will keep running. We will bring others to the starting line, not of a particular race, but for grace. We are here. But for fate, we are here. Ready to run, ready to be free. May it be peace. Peace.
Wonderful. Not for a particular race, but for grace.
Amen.
A lot of power under that. Did you feel, was there energy moving through you as you were writing?
Yes, yes. You know, my mother, I, as my oldest child will be 20 this year, and so it's always like, be careful. And it's like, in my mind, I know it might go in one ear and out the other, but my mother always tells me, be careful when you're out there running. I worry about you. And I want to say, don't worry. But that particular summer, 2020, um, I think it was real for a lot of Black mothers in the
Yeah.
United States when their sons of any age go out and about in the streets. And so, yeah, the energy I felt, especially the part that says, when a Black man runs, when a Native woman goes missing, when a brown girl runs in fear, a trans woman doesn't return from her run. Because there's so many, and as this podcast talks about communities and interconnectedness, there's so many folks who have a card in the game, so to speak. If it's not a Black man being murdered running, it's a white woman who's been violated on a run in the Midwest somewhere, or in Tennessee, I think was most recent. Native women go missing all across this country all the time and aren't investigated. Brown girls here in Southern California or in Arizona that go running and don't feel safe. So the energy, yes, the answer to that, yes, I did feel the surge of energy, not just writing it, because I wrote it over a series of days, but also and rehearsing it and then sharing it with folks, and even just dusting it off here 3 weeks later, a month later today. Um, yeah,
That's
sadly, but yes.
very moving. Thank you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Have you got another one?
I got plenty more, but we don't have all day. Um, I think what I'll do is I'll kind of go from the darkness into the light. Let's see. So the next one I'll share um, is called "The Face of War." And sadly, again, this is my 12-year-old said to me the other day, and I remember saying this to my father once upon a time. She said we were listening to Bob Marley, and she said, Why does he sing about the same things that we sing about today?" And I remember asking my dad that same question about if it wasn't Bob Marley, it was Marvin Gaye and Mercy, Mercy Me, right? But this one's called The Face of War. Ugly, sad, long, and blue. The face of war glows against the burning backdrop. Excuse me, let me start over. The face of war, ugly, sad, long, and blue. The face of war glows against the burning backdrop, absorbing the scent of death. Tires burn and the stench is permanent. The children are forever scarred, both inside and out. The face of war is young, is old, is black, is white, is brown, is yellow. The face of war. The face of war is distant and withdrawn. It lacks focus, it lacks clarity. The face of war is moist with sweat and with fear. It is hungry, thirsty for a better tomorrow. The face of war is blood dripping, blood drying, blood turned to ink, writing threats and displays of hope. The face of war is dark with frowns and prayers. The face of war. It is the screeching sound of a mother mourning a lost child. The face of war is wrought with love, is wrought with hate. The face of war is devoid of love and devoid of hate. The face of war is just that, the face of war.
Oh my. Oh my. The void of love. The void of hate. Whew.
It's a
You
tough
better have
world.
a poem to bring us up.
I got some. We'll start going back up the ramp here. Let me start taking us back up. Um, One of the things, Pastor Phil,
No,
that you know about me.
let me
Oh, go
first
ahead.
say,
Uh-huh.
Kent, let me first say, I didn't mean that to say, I want to hear happy clappy now. I meant that to say, thank you for naming the deep, deep reality of human travail, human
Hmm.
sinfulness.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's important that we do that. So thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I've often allowed myself to call myself an observer of the world around us. And I heard a comedian say on a podcast a few weeks ago, he said, "I don't know why folks get mad at me. I'm just saying what everybody sees." Um,
Yeah.
and that resonated with me as an artist. I think it's important that someone holds up a mirror to society so we see what's really
Yes.
going on. Um, but I will take us up a little bit. I'm gonna kind of make a medley of these next three poems. Prior to my work at the church, I worked with unaccompanied minors, kids coming into the United States without proper documentation. And so I had a very close and personal view of border issues. And so these three poems are written through the perspective, the first one through the perspective of a day laborer, and then the next one of a child who's going to be reunified with mom, and then lastly, my perspectives as that educator in a group home setting. So the only one of these three that has a title is this first part, and it's called Here I Stand. Here I stand in this new land, insoles lined with foreign sands, cragged hands ready to work. My family depends on me. Reality descends upon me. I am alone. I have nothing to own. Thousands I owe, so it's off to work I go. By word of mouth, no home, so I wander. I walk, I hide. I work through the night, up early roadside, no sign, no smile. My skin so dark, I am a sundial. I do not speak the language. I cannot read the language. I came to relieve my children of the pain and the anguish, of hunger and of poverty. I have sacrificed myself and my dignity. My children I will not see for years. My wife I will never see again. She's suffering. The children are suffering. I am suffering. Excuse me. Do you have any work for me? Do you have any work for me? From a child's eye.
Mm.
She's been gone 9 years. We had 4 years together. I don't remember too much about my mother. In 2 weeks, we'll start anew. Yeah. I said she's been gone 9 years. We had 4 years together. I don't remember too much about my mother, but in 2 weeks, we'll start anew. She's had 3 babies. One's 3, one's 6, and one's 9. I hope she loves me. I pray mis hermanitos, my little brothers and sisters, can teach me to speak English. I'm 13 years old. I was passed between 4 guides, each of them strangers, different type of dangerous. I think I counted 6 guns. In less than 3 days, I will fly on 2 more planes. Her face forgotten. I hope her voice sounds the same. I'm nervous and I'm afraid. The numbers game. And then this last one, that will bring us up and bring us, hopefully, allow us to end on a note of joy. My brother met me at an airport when I did a reunification, taking a kid to their parents, his 2 children, to their parents in the DC area. And I wrote this one after my brother saw me doing all the paperwork. And, you know, my big brother, I saw him cry, and I'm like, what's this guy crying about? Nonetheless, this one's just called Love. And it says, I saw children without mothers take care of children without mothers. Love. I saw teenage mothers away from their babies take care of teenage mothers away from their babies. Love. I saw Black girls from Caribbean coasts translate for Black girls from Caribbean coasts. Love. I saw Mayan boys make bracelets for Mixteco boys before court dates. Love. I saw Muslim young men pray for Christian classmates on birthdays. Love. I saw cutters share food with gangsters who were afraid of the truth. Love. I saw mothers cry when finally reunified in airports across this nation. Love. I saw my big brother wipe his eyes when he finally realized just what his kid brother has seen. Love.
Kenton Hundley, Executive Director, Dream School of the Arts. Love.
Love. There you go. Yeah, love, as my little kids do. Love.
Thank you, Kenton, for sharing with us your poetry and your wisdom. This
Thank
is
you.
Philip Amerson closing out another podcast, a wonderful podcast with poems from Kenton. God bless, and remember, interdependence is more important than independence, and nothing much can beat relationships in a world so full of isolation and loneliness. I'm privileged to have relationships with good people like Kenton Hundley. Go find such relationships for yourself.